So hello, I'm sorry if you hear, let me just start this over, because if you hear, that's me with my drink. Start off by saying hi to my beautiful subscribers. How are you? Thank you so much for tuning in yet another video. I do my makeup while talking to you guys in my room, which is hard because I don't have a setup in front of me where I can so I'm going to be using my little hand mirror right here. And I have my makeup. This is my Doll's Kill. I got it for free. It's a little makeup bag, and then I have this huge Betty Boop chest makeup thingy, as you guys can see. It's so cute. I got it from Doll's Kill, from their Betty Boop line collection that they did with Doll's Kill, Betty Boop. So I'm literally just gonna be doing my makeup on this little mirror and talking with you guys. So I hope that's okay. Yeah, this is not like a tutorial or anything. You don't need to follow what I'm doing. I'm literally just doing my makeup how I usually always do it and giving you guys a tea on what happened to me when I tried this first travel assignment. It was a disaster, child. So if you want to see more, keep watching. While I'm doing my makeup, I'm going to show you guys stuff that I'm using because I'm actually, you guys know I've never really been like a makeup guru. Like I never really showed you guys like any tutorials on how to do makeup because I'm not like a makeup artist or anything like that. I literally just do my makeup how I do it, and I do my makeup extra heavy, so not everybody likes that. So that's why I don't do tutorials or anything. I just do get ready with me's. So I'm gonna be going through products I use. So I bought a couple of new products that I want to share with you guys while I do my makeup. So I got this product from She Glam. It's from Shein. Their She Glam line. It's a primer. It's their birthday skin primer. It's really good. And so it came with a little spoon, but I don't know where the spoon is at. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on my face so I can just prime my face before I put on all this makeup. Because you guys know I like to wear a ton of makeup. And it's really good actually. Like it really keeps the makeup on your face, and it has the makeup looking like really like smooth and nice. So I'm gonna be using, and another thing I use really like cheap makeup. Like I used to go hard at Sephora and buy like all the new makeup, you know, when like YouTube was at its prime with the whole makeup thing, because it's kind of slowed down now. I used to like buy all the expensive makeups, and then I just realized, you know what, I get the same results. Not all cheap makeup is good. Some cheap makeup is like, it needs to be cheap and you need to not wear it. But I get the same results using my beauty supply store makeup that I get when I use my Sephora, honestly. So it's like I'm not even spending all that extra money on all that makeup at Sephora when I get the same results using my local beauty supply store makeup. I'm gonna be using this Ruby Kisses liquid foundation, oil-free natural finish all day wear. I've been using this foundation for years. What I've been wearing since I started doing makeup. It's my favorite foundation, and this is the color Caramel. I always get the color Caramel. So I just put little dots like that on my face. Just don't want to get nothing on my, just do little dots around my face. So thing about this is it's not super messy, and it closes nicely, and it's small, and I like that. So I'm gonna use my foundation brush to buff it in. And I get this from, I got this, I have the same brushes for years. BH Cosmetics. BH Cosmetics has really good makeup brushes. So if you're on a budget or you just wanna be, you know, not spend all your coins, definitely get a brush set from BH Cosmetics. I've had this for years. I do need to buy some new ones because it is giving out a little bit, but I've had it for years. So yeah. So I just buff it in my skin like that. And it covers all my dark marks that I get. my brows now, and I'm gonna be using She Glam by Shein. It's crazy because I would never in a million years thought that I would use makeup by Shein, but their makeup is actually really good. So it's like, wow. Their She Glam little, what is this, like a dip brow. It's a tinted waterproof eyebrow cream. Looks like that. Looks like the Anastasia Beverly Hills, which I still have. I have 2 of them because they have so much product and they last for years, but I won't be buying that anymore. I mean, it's the same thing. It does the same thing. So it's like, why spend $18 on one little package? I forgot how much I spent on this, but it was not $18. And the Anastasia is $18. So I'm gonna be using this, and it comes with a little brush, angle brush, and a little spoolie, which is dope. It comes like literally with it. With Anastasia, it just comes with the product. So it's like you have to buy extra brow products. So I think that's really dope of Shein. So I just prep my brows by just like doing that, making them go up like that. Right, let me just start with this story while I'm doing my brows. So as you guys know, my latest video, I told you guys that I was going on a travel assignment because I had quit my staff job as a CNA, day shift. You guys know that. I quit my staff job and I decided to pursue travel nursing because I had a year experience, and for travel nursing you have to have a year experience. Okay, let me just finish doing these brows. And you know, I dip it in really softly, you know, and as you can see, like the brows look good. This is really good product and it's literally super cheap. Okay, I'm gonna do the other brow. So, okay, I got my first assignment. My first assignment that I got, you know, I was very skeptical. You know, I am from New York, and I don't want to keep saying I'm from New York, I don't drive. I don't want you guys to think all New Yorkers don't drive. No, there's plenty of you New Yorkers that drive. I think if you are from New York and you live in New York, you have to make it upon yourself to go and drive. It's not something that's required. It's not something like your parents teach you at a young age, like you have to go get your license. Because if you plan on living in New York, it's like you don't need a car. You don't need to get around with a car. So it's like, why would your parents, you know, in certain places, you know, your parents, once you hit 16, it's like, all right, you got to learn how to drive, because obviously we live in an area where you got to drive to the store, you got to drive to school, you got to drive da-da-da-da. But in New York, you don't really have to do that. So like when I was a teen, I was never forced or like encouraged to drive. You know, right off the bat, I was, you know, I was very like, well, how am I going to travel if, you know, I don't drive? But I'm, you know, so I'm on this Facebook group of other, you know, travel CNAs. So, you know, I post a little post like, you know, if I don't drive, would I still be able to take travel assignments? You know, I just need your advice. And lots of people said, of course, like I drive, I have a car, you know, it's expensive to take my car from where I live to the assignment. So I just, you know, take Uber and Lyfts everywhere. You know, I leave my car at home. So some people were like, yeah, you could definitely pick up an assignment and not know how to drive. Like, that's fine. You can just make sure you take Ubers and Lyfts. So I was like, okay, well that sounds cool. You know, I can do that. Go in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this is like $4, probably higher now because of inflation. It's in Toffee, and I'm gonna actually just curve out my brows and then do my highlight. So anyway, so you know, I asked the Facebook group to be sure that I can still do it. So okay, I found an assignment and it was in Colorado. That was the first assignment I was gonna go with. It was housing on site, which is like literally you work where you work. It's not like I wasn't living in the nursing home, but they had like a housing super close. It was in Steamboats, Colorado, which is a super expensive area because it's a super ski area. So it's like all the housing is super like, you know, taken because everybody goes there to ski. So they didn't really have a lot of housings, so they decided to open up like a little house on site for like travel CNAs or whatever. The thing with that is my recruiter was like, oh, well, you can't have any visitors. Like, they don't want you to have any visitors. And me, I'm somewhere where, like, if I'm going somewhere for like 3-4 months, I need my boyfriend to come visit me. I need like my sister to come visit me. Like, I'm not saying they gotta stay there, even though I would prefer to travel with a loved one. But that's when you get your own housing. But if it's on site, I would at least like a visitor. And they were like, you can't have no visitors. If they come, you guys can go to like a hotel somewhere else, but you can't go there. And it's like, I don't understand, if I live there and work there, why can't they come and see me? So that was a little bit to me. And then in Colorado, to get like, you have to do like 7 background checks, and it was just a lot. Like, I had to go through 7 background checks, and I'm like, really? And I already had another assignment on the side, but I was, you know, it wasn't as high as the other one that I was doing, like the money. So I was like, I'm not gonna do this. I want to do the Colorado one because I get paid more. So my recruiter for the other assignment called me, and she was like, you know, I want to give you a higher pay, kind of win you over so that you can, you know, work with me. So she won me over because the pay got higher, and I was like, okay, cool. And this area, this assignment was in Lake Placid. I'm not familiar with Lake Placid. I wasn't either. It's literally, it's in New York State, and it's an area, it's a ski area as well. Lots of people go up there to ski. There's lots of like cabins and like lodges and, yeah, so like hot tubs, like it's just like a ski area. So I was like, okay, you know, it's in New York State, so it's not super far from New York City, so I won't be super far from home. Also, they were giving me housing off-site, which meant that I could bring somebody with me, or I can have visitors, which sounded ideal because, you know, I want visitors. So I was like, okay, I'll go with this one. And I told her, please, 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 you know, I'm not from any of these areas. I don't travel in New York State. I live in New York City. Please make sure that there's Uber and there is Lyft available so that I can get to work and get back home and be able to go get my groceries and, you know, sightsee or whatever when I'm off. Just make sure that there's Ubers and Lyfts. I said, please make sure there's Ubers and Lyfts, you know. And to determine that, because she's not even from New York City, you know, you talk to the facility. Obviously, you talk to someone that works at the facility. They live around there. You get their opinions, whatever. What I messed up on, I personally should have spoke to somebody from the facility, someone that lives in that area, to ask them specifically, like, are there Ubers? Are there Lyfts? Are they consistent? Are they reliable to get me to and from work when I need to go? But I trusted my recruiter, and I said, she's gonna talk to them. She's gonna give me all the answers. I'm putting my whole 100% trust on her. She will not let me down. She told me that there was Uber and there was Lyft, and she had other talent there that was taking Uber and Lyft without an issue. So I was like, okay, cool. So I went and I bought all my supplies because I didn't know where I was staying. You know, I heard that a lot of places, like when you stay in hotels and stuff, they don't have stoves, obviously, or anything. Lots of, like, I bought a George Foreman grill, I bought an air fryer, I bought like cups, plates, spoons, you know, all that stuff. Because I was gonna be away for 3 months, I decided that I wanted to get extensions. You guys know that I've been natural since May of last year. I'll insert a picture because I said I was gonna insert a picture before and I didn't. And somebody was like, you didn't insert a picture. So here's a picture of me with my head shaved like last year, May. Or was it? Yeah, it was last year, May. That's when I first did the big chop because I wanted to go natural. I was tired of relaxers. This is like my 3rd time going natural, Chad, and hopefully it sticks. So far, so good. So I said, you know, I'm natural. I really don't want to, you know, deal with the wigs while I'm away. I should just get braids. I've never gotten extension braids because I've always had a relaxer. Ever since I was young, I've always had a relaxer, and I was always scared that, like, if I put braids in, it will like pull out my hair because, you know, when you get relaxers as a black girl, your hair gets really thin. That's the point of it. Now I'm going to, okay, conceal my face. I'm going to go in with this brush. I got this brush from Shein, and I'm gonna go in with my, I had this for years. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. As you can see, I've had it so long, it's like wrinkly and like, it's horrible. But it still has product and it still works, and it's old and I love it. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this color right here, and this is the contour color, and I'm gonna contour my face, and then I'm going to highlight. So Just do that. I don't really use a cream contour. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's just super heavy. I like a powder contour, so I just mix the powder with the cream. So as you can see, I'm using a powder contour with the cream highlight. That's what I've always been doing. It's just I feel like the cream contour is super, super heavy, and I don't like it. So I said I use super cheap products. This isn't cheap. The Anastasia, this wasn't cheap, but I've had this for years, so I don't have to buy another one. But I'm using this Kiss highlight. It's Kiss Professional New York. You can get it in your local beauty supply store. And I'm going to use this goldy one and then a little bit of this silver one, which is like none left, but I can figure it out. Do anything else. So do that. Just blend it in. Let's see. Yeah, moving on. I did my braids for this assignment. You know, I spent so much money on products and stuff. It's for housing, and you know, I did my braids, and I did my nails, which I was gonna do anyway, but you know, I made sure that they were done before the assignment. I did my feet. You know, it's like I was just getting ready to be away for 3 months, 13 weeks. That was my plan. That's what I was doing. I was preparing, making sure I had like food and snacks for the road. Like all that stuff costs money, so I was really, really preparing for this trip. Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna go. I got these beauty blenders from Shein, and they came like this. It was 3 that came in here. This is the 3rd one. I'm gonna go wet this, squeeze it out so that it's nice and big, and I'm gonna set my face. But yeah, so this was like $1, I think, or $2, but it came here. It's pink little beauty blender. So I'm gonna do that now, and I'm gonna be using Sasha's Buttercup setting powder. This is one of my faves. I've had it for years. I have to re-up, but yeah, I've always used this, and I'm gonna set my face. My face bakes. I look crazy. While my face bakes, I'm going to finish up at least halfway of the story because I don't want this video to be super duper long. So I got my hair braided. I got all my products and everything like that ready for my trip. So to get to Lake Placide, I took a Greyhound. Now you can take a plane there. It's an hour plane ride, literally probably like 45 minutes, and it's on a small private plane. Because it's such a small distance from New York City, they use something that they call Cape Air, which is like a small like private airplane company. It's not like a JetBlue or a Delta, which is super big. So it's only like about 20 something passengers, I believe, super small. And it's like a 45-minute ride from New York City to there. It's not really comfortable on small, I don't know, planes. I know my boyfriend was like very like, why not? It's like a private jet. Da, da, da. And I'm like, I don't know. Every time I think of private jets or private planes, I think of Aaliyah, and it just gets me into like, sorry. I just get into like panic mode. And then like, it was like over $200 just to take a 45-minute ride. And I'm like, I'm not paying that. Option 2, my boyfriend, he drives. He has his license, he's a driver. And my boyfriend was in a very bad accident, but he literally came out with a scratch, but the car was towed. So he's in the process of getting a new car, so he doesn't have a car or anything to drive me. So option 2 was out the way. So option 3 was a Greyhound bus. Now to get to Lake Plaza, I would have had to take 2 buses. One bus to Albany, and then I had to transfer to another bus to Lake Placide. So altogether, that was about 10 hours of traveling. 10 hours. I was up at like 6 because I had to get to the Greyhound by 8. It's literally like getting on a plane. Like they board at a certain time, they take off at a certain time. So you have to be there before boarding. And the only thing is on Greyhound, there's no assigned seating. So like you just get whatever seat you want, which I like. So yeah. So I got there, I got on my bus. Then I had to pay extra for a bag. I bought 2 luggages. I didn't know whether or not I was staying in a hotel or anything like that, because my recruiter told me last minute that I was staying in a lodge. So I didn't know what a lodge was. I thought a lodge was like a cabin. She didn't specify. She just said you're staying in a lodge. I didn't know if they had stove, heat, anything like that. So I packed an air fryer and another luggage, my grill, cups, plates, spoons. So like literally 1 luggage full of clothes, 1 luggage full of kitchen stuff, ever. It's a long ride to Albany, but it was beautiful to see because I haven't been upstate in a while. So it was beautiful to just take in the scenery of going upstate. Just the trees and the area. You know, upstate is just so much more slow down than the city, and it's super quiet. And it was a nice ride. It wasn't a bad ride. It was a good ride. By the time I got to Albany, I was super hungry. Luckily, they had like a food place in the Albany station. So I got like fries and I got like chicken strips and stuff like that. They had a super expensive, but they had a place there. So I got to eat, and I had a 2-hour layover. So, but it was like an hour and some change. It wasn't really 2 hours. So I literally had to wait there for the next bus, just like a plane. 2-hour layover. I was so tired. I was just like, oh, I want to just get to my location, get in my room, shower, and sleep, because literally the next day I had to start the job. I left on a Sunday and the job started on Monday, on that 14th. So I had to start the job on the 14th, so I wanted to make sure I had enough time. But I was gonna reach Lake Plaza at 6:30. I already knew that. Which was a little annoying for me too, because it's like, damn, I'm gonna reach here at 6:30 and I have to be up the next day at 7 to get ready for work. And I was like, I just want to get time to sleep. I'm exhausted. So early. So when we got off the bus for Albany and we got back on the bus, you know, I'm thinking all those people are going to Lake Plaza. I don't know why I thought that was like the last stop. That's what it said in my itinerary. It said that was the last stop. So I'm like, oh, all these people are going to Lake Plaza. Good. So I won't feel like by myself when I'm getting off the bus, or I can ask questions or whatever. Like my face has baked now for a good while and I don't want to keep talking with it. So I'm gonna actually just use my roughing brush. See all that powder coming out. And the powder I use, it's super cheap. Like I said, I use the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro. It's like definitely a replica of the MAC Studio Fix, which I used to use. Just put my brush in like that. And I'm gonna get my mirror, and then I just kind of just dust it off. So like that. Right, so I was like, okay, all these people are getting off the bus. I'll be fine. We pull up to Lake Plaza like 6 something, and we pull up, and it's like super, because the area is super quiet. So it's like quiet. We pull up, people are sleeping, and then the bus door opens, and then there's no noise. So I'm like, you know, just looking around like, why isn't nobody getting up? Like, you know, I was all the way at the back of the bus. So I was like, I'm gonna wait until like everybody else get up and get out, and then I'll get up and get out. Nobody was getting up. Nobody was getting out. Nobody was getting out. And I'm like, what's going on? So the bus driver, he starts coming, making his way towards me. And he's like, please, like, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Like asking each person in the row. And I'm like, why is he asking them where they going? Like, aren't they getting off here? He finally gets to me and he's like, where are you going? And I'm like, I get up at Lake Plaza. Like, I didn't even know how to pronounce it. I was just so lost. And he's like, oh, I knew I had one. Like, he was super friendly. He was like, oh, I knew I had one. Okay. So he was like, gather your stuff and we'll take you. Do you have luggages? I said, yeah, I have 2. He's like, okay, well, I'll get off and I'll take the luggages out for you. And that's that. Passing everybody. And I'm like, where are they going? So, because I'm thinking on my itinerary, it said Lake Plaza was the last stop, but it wasn't. I guess on their itinerary, it shows where they're going. And for me, that was the last stop for me. So it didn't show any other stops further than that. It just showed where I was getting off at. And I mistaken and thought that that was like the itinerary for everybody. Nobody got off the bus with me. So I get off the bus. It's super quiet. It's mad snow. It's like in the middle of like nowhere. I get nowhere. I will put a picture. Nowhere. So he takes my stuff off the McGree, and he's like, well, I hope you have somebody picking you up. He says that in like a very like, yeah, because you're like in the middle of nowhere, like what's going on? And I'm like, oh no, I'm just gonna take an Uber and Lyft. He was like, okay, cool. And he was like, all right, well, enjoy your travels and safe travels and bye. He gets back on the bus and he takes off. And I'm like, okay, I see a little bit of people outside, but yeah, let me just get this Uber and call this Uber and Lyft so I can get to where I need to go. So I call the Uber. I'm like, let me get the Uber immediately. I look for Uber, I look for Lyft. It's taking a while. Usually when I call an Uber or Lyft in New York City, it'll be like 1 minute away, 3 minutes away. This was like loading and loading and loading. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, we're not in an area like New York, so it's probably not a lot in the area. And it's a Sunday, so I'm just gonna wait a little bit. Now, mind you, it was like 6 something and like the sun set probably like 7. So I was getting a little concerned because I'm like, I don't want it to get dark and I'm standing out here in the dark in the middle of nowhere. So I'm waiting for the Uber and the Lyft to load up and show some cars around the way to pick me up. You know, I'm talking to my mom on the phone. You know, she just was with me the whole way, making sure I was okay. She was like, okay, we'll just wait for the Lyft. So I'm like, okay. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. Waiting and waiting and waiting. Waiting and waiting and waiting. Like 30 minutes went by. No Lyft and Uber was showing up on that app. Which led me to believe that there was no Uber and Lyft in Lake Plaza. There wasn't. There weren't. My recruiter lied to me. Either she lied to me or she didn't do her research. Either or. I'm stranded. Okay? I'm stranded in Lake Plaza. I'm stranded.